Now, there's multiple YouTube videos telling you guys to delete your social media, and they tend to go over practical steps to get off of it. But based off my experiences and some of the ones I've heard, deleting social media in some righteous manner doesn't work some of the time. And what I tend to notice is during these righteous feeling moments of temporary relief from deleting social media, usually I notice what tends to happen is people will re-download these apps literally minutes or hours later. And I know a lot of people will have an epiphany with what I'm about to say, but in this case, I'm going to tell you not to delete social media. And before I have these morally superior people come after me and be like, why are you telling people to keep their social medias? I'm gonna just say this. If you're a person that's already been off social media for a little bit of time, and nowadays you notice that you have peace of mind from it, then first off, good job. And you probably don't need this video, so you could just click off. This video is probably not for you. Because I gotta be specific when I say this. This video is to target the ones that are solely relying on willpower to reject using social media or any other short form content. And the two things I'm gonna say is this. That one, it's a good attempt to reduce your mindless utilization of these apps. But usually, at least from what I see, trying to reduce the likelihood of using these apps tends to be very futile and useless. I'm not gonna lie, it's not too different from someone vigorously keeping track of like their nofap streak or their absence from porn. So the first thing I'm gonna tell you is to just take a different approach in the way you use social media. Now, you and I both know that social media has like a huge grip on our attention spans with short form content like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok, just simply frying our brain. And then not to mention, we tend to see other people living their best lives. So what ends up happening is we play the comparison game and we end up comparing our lives to theirs. And that in itself, you already know is bad. And it's probably in your best interest to stay off of that, unless you really want to make yourself feel bad. You feel what I'm saying? But if you notice, social media also has information and beneficial things to learn on there, so that way it can improve your actual real life. Kind of like this video right here, which you should probably like. And in doing so, that way you're not just mindlessly consuming junk content that doesn't benefit your life in any way, shape, or form. And it'll tend to make you feel even worse about where you are in life. Now, some examples of watching long form content that could be a benefit to you is watching podcasts. Here's my two favorites, for example: Andrew Huberman, Diary of a CEO, Chris Williamson, or anything on philosophy, self-improvement videos that literally tap into your subconscious mind the more and more you watch it to improve other aspects of your life rather than consuming junk degenerate content that doesn't really impact you and gives you a few giggles like Or another example I could give you, bro, is like watching how-to videos to learn something you're genuinely interested in or knowing how to do to expand your mental bandwidth and adopt skills that you can use in your everyday life. And bro, it's like so underrated, but little things like that goes a very long way. And this is me assuming that you want to become something like a YouTuber, entrepreneur, whatever it is where you just create shit. Stuff like that can help if you put time aside for it. Social media can give you the information that you need on whatever endeavor that you want to undergo. But too many people let these apps violate their potential by letting these apps control them rather than filtering BS from non-BS stuff that they actually don't need to see. And just a quick side note, what is really on Instagram Reels or other people's stories that you generally need to see? You're making yourself feel bad that way. There's really no point in doing so. Create something that's going on in your life. Learn these stuff. But I digress because I'm gonna go on a whole side tangent, so let's carry on. And not to mention, half the time you can't even recall the stuff that you see from how fast you're consuming these contents, and you typically know how you feel after ingesting so much filth, like so much filth like that, bro. Ugh, you should be disgusted. I'm playing. But one thing I'm not joking about is how it's connected to instant gratification, which is like porn, fast food like McDonald's. Or here's another thing I'm gonna see in the comments where the gamers attack me: playing video games for hours on end. All these things are instant gratification activities that give you that high dopamine, feel good type of feeling in the moment, and then you feel like shit after doing that act. It's cheap. All these things are interconnected. If it's an activity you don't have to try on and you can just easily get on without any sort of effort, that's really instant gratification right there, because you know how you feel after hours of scrolling through Instagram Reels, watching people's stories, watching TikToks, or anything of that nature. And I'm not gonna lie, I've never met anybody who felt good about doing those things and generally felt good about themselves afterwards. Social media in itself should be used as a tool to make you better, but only if you allow it and give yourself permission for it to make you better by filtering out stuff and accompanied by your identity. Now, identity is probably like the biggest thing I go over in this channel, and it also applies here because the identity of who you want to be and who you currently are right now, they're not congruent, because on one hand it's like you want to change, and then on the other it's like you're showing a lack of respect for yourself because you're allowing social media to control you and bombard you with a lot of bullshit that you don't need to be saying. So here's an action step for you, and I want you to do this right now, otherwise this video is like useless. Write out and make a list of anything you want to do to occupy your time. Usually this will involve things like working out, which has ton of health benefits, reading, which you become smarter. Literally, there's evidence that says reading changes your brain, improving your speech, your persuasiveness, which are things I'm working on right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like literally just whatever the fuck you want to do. And those are essentially good ways to use social media to your advantage. And here's the thing that you're gonna notice when you start occupying your time with things that actually matter. It's gonna be time well spent to develop yourself as a person, so that way you're not bored 24/7, because once you find something that you actually enjoy doing, spending time on social media just becomes less interesting to you. I'll let you know right now, social media is going to remain on your phone, but like I mentioned before, you're not even going to care to be on it because you have other things going on in your life to the point to where you're like, I don't care, this is far better. Literally, that's how it works. And you won't even go on it unless there's like a specific reason, although I don't think there's any specific reason to really go on social media when people got your number, right? When you got a specific reason to go on and learn something that's generally gonna benefit you to some capacity. So in other words, bro, don't let social media dominate you. Like, bro, I'm well aware of how easily addictive that it can be, but it's your responsibility to filter these things out and use it to your advantage to better your life holistically. And what I mean by holistically, it means like all together, every aspect of your life. You get what I'm saying? And once you do that and utilize it to your advantage, you won't ever feel the need to ever like waste your time. And it sets you apart from most people who are addicted to their phones. You feel what I'm saying? I've said you feel what I'm saying tons of times. I feel like that's like my catchphrase or some shit. I don't know, man. That's all for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna see you guys. Peace.